What's up, nail geeks, and welcome to the last video for Wildflower Lacquer. I am super excited for Taylor's new journey. If you're new to indie polish and you haven't heard the buzz around Wildflower Lacquer, Wildflower Lacquer is going to be rebranded. Taylor is not going anywhere. Don't panic. But in January, they will be coming back as Royla Lee. That is the new brand. It is beautiful. I actually have the first collection on hand right now for January's launch for that, and it's magical. It's amazing. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the last final hurrah for Wildflower Lacquer. This month we have the Winter Rewind, which includes shades that you all voted on in the Facebook group for what you wanted Taylor to bring back, and we have some amazing pretties, including one of them that I personally missed out on and I was dying over the last couple of years, and it's here and it's going to be for this rewind. Super pumped for that. We also have a winter collection to check out, and we have some new polish for paws. This brand is very animal centric, and I love that. As a recent cat house, you all don't see it, but we have our baby Chai here. And she's here for Polish for Paws too. So Polish for Paws is basically a polish that Taylor does, and part of the proceeds go for an animal charity of some sort. So we have lots of beautiful colors to check out. I'm going to quit yammering. I know you're here for the swatches. I'm super hyped and pumped. I did include one comparison in with this, as a wonderful subscriber chatted me up a couple of days ago, and they asked for a comparison between two of them. I stuck another one in there just for help's sake. So I hope that helps out too with your purchasing. This amazing just restock, the final hurrah, all that fun stuff. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Starting off with All Spangled Up. This is described as a bright turquoise base with strong gold to green to blue shifting shimmer and holographic flakes. I remember when this one was initially released. It is a fantastic formula in the previous one and in this current rendition of it. This is very opaque on application. I'm going to suggest 2 normal or 3 thinner coats. If you prefer it plumped up like myself, I think that 3rd thin coat is necessary if you like it like that. I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat though, because this will dry down quite flat, and that's just because it is a shimmer balm, so it will have that metallic type of dry down. Amethyst is a violet base with pink to red to gold shimmer. This is so lovely, soft, and glowy. I almost want to classify it as an almost milky type of overall look when you build it up. I'm going to suggest 3 coats on this one, and I want to note, if you're using falsies of any type, whether it's Gel X or like the ones I have, I did have a touch of purple staining with this when I removed it with my peel-off latex. I just thought it was worth noting. It wasn't anything terrible, but it was there. So just reporting back. This is so flattering against myself. I mean, honestly, all of these are. Wildflower Lacquer has just a way about making her polishes damn universally flattering. This is perfect at 3 light coats and a glossy top coat. Boop the Snoot is my #1 top pick for this entire release this month. Do not miss out on this one. It's described as a blackened navy jeweled sibling with a touch of pink to gold shifting shimmer. This one is the polish for paws for this month. $6 of every bottle sold is going to be donated to the Oklahoma Alliance for Animals. I chose to take it up to 3 coats. It is a true jelly, so there is just a touch of a difference between the 2nd and 3rd coat, but honestly, it's perfectly opaque at 2 coats. So your preference on that. The shimmer is a touch on the subtle side in terms of what's going to catch your eye the most, which are those holographic flakes, but this is such a starry night sky looking polish, finished with a really good glossy top coat to exploit everything. Dragon Fruit Fluff is a violet base with red to gold shifting shimmer. This is another really flattering type of purple, where Amethyst was that milkier type of purple, like a medium purple. Dragon Fruit is very much a medium purple, but it has that more creamy looking appearance when you build it up. I honestly thought 2 coats was perfect, and anything more than that, I feel like is overkill. This looked so good against my skin tone, medium to deep skin tones. Honestly, light tones do, whatever. These are just universally flattering. Very, very nice across the board. 2 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. Ew Ted, one of my 32, is a light gray base with holographic and pink to orange to gold to green shifting shimmer. We have a holographic type finish with a super strong type of shimmer. This one is so, so good. I remember last year's rewind for Wildflower. There were so many good ones that I was like, I'm so glad everyone's able to pick them up again. But this year's rewind is fantastic too. These are all so gorgeous. This one is perfect at 2 normal or 3 lighter coats to build it up. It's got a beautiful opacity to it. So your preference there. Again, I do prefer my nails on the thicker side. This one also dries down quite flat. So again, use a good glossy top coat. Good Friends is a teal base with pink to peach to gold to green shifting shimmer and scattered holo. We have a true jelly formula going on here. This is going to be more on the somewhat flirting sheer side. So if that bugs you, I'm going to say my caveat here of a nude to you cream base or a blurring base of some sort. Anything like that to minimize any seeing through falsies or your free edge poking through. Either way, this plumps up really well. The shimmer is quite strong, and I don't know. I don't think it needs a blurring base coat because honestly, I liked that almost aquatic-like effect because it's that jelly appearance with that strong shimmer. I'm Basically 29 is a periwinkle base with pink to orange to gold to green shifting shimmer. I'm Basically 29 is a somewhat jelly type of formula. It starts off on the light side, and I'd also classify this one as being flirting with being a milky type of finish like Amethyst. The shimmer is deliciously strong. I think 3 light coats is perfect with a glossy top coat. The formula is a bit on the plumping side, so just go in light if you want to go up to 3 coats. My usual disclaimer applies here for softer types of finishes like this one and like Amethyst. If a visible nail line or seeing through your falsies or anything like that bugs you, of course, a blurring base coat or a nude to you cream would be great underneath this. Personally, I think this is so pretty and strong on the shimmer, it doesn't need it. Is that an Ascot? Is a berry red base with strong gold to green to blue shifting shimmer. This is very much, in my opinion, at least I remember when I swatched the original one, is a very holiday fall type of color to my eyes. It's very cool toned in the base, but it's overall just glowy and warmed up by that warm shimmer. That's quite shifty. Normal indoor lights, you'll see like what you see on the video here, especially bright lights. It's like this coppery type of sheen going on with it. And then at angles, there's a beautiful green and blue shift. The blue pops out more subtle. It's at like the most extreme angles, but there's a delicious type of green I tried to catch on my macro shots here in just a moment. This is another very opaque formula, so your preference on if you want to wear it at 2 or 3 coats. Lord of the Hollow Mountain is a sky blue base with strong pink to orange to gold to green shifting shimmer and scattered holo. Now, Lord of the Hollow Mountain, if I had to classify it in between Ew Ted and I'm Basically 29, I would say that this one's kind of also flirting on that milkier type of finish. It's, say, less creamier than Ew Ted, but it is a touch more creamy and opaque than, say, I'm Basically 29. It will make more sense when I show you my comparison here momentarily. I'm going to suggest 3 light coats to build it up. This has a very squishy formula though, so if you don't want to go in light-handed, absolutely 2 coats is fine, but I just think that 3rd coat popped the best. Again, thin coats. Mind Your Own Biscuits and Life Will Be Gravy is a bright pink base with pink to orange to gold shifting shimmer. This is one of the colors in this re-release, I should say, that I had missed out previously and I kicked myself big time for. And I'm so glad I get to see it in person. Now, this is one of those pinks that will lean a touch red or super vibrant, like hot pink, depending on your lighting situation. It's a bit of a chameleon, especially because it's loaded with shimmer. So I think my video, at least on my monitor, is being pretty indicative to what I'm seeing in person. It's this almost vintage-like type of metallic pink. In darker lighting situations, it does pull more red, but to my eyes, it's a pinky type red, if that makes sense, with a beautiful gold at extreme angles. Moonstone is the big one I know everyone's excited about, including myself. This was another one that slipped past me way back in the day, but I'm so glad everyone's going to be able to grab it. Grab it if you didn't get it before. It's described as a smoky gray base with aqua to blue to indigo shifting shimmer. Chef's kiss. This is clean. It's chic. It's got that almost office type of vibe to it, but it builds up to what I describe as a true, stark, milky type of white. You will see just the tiniest bit of your smile line peeping through, or slightly through your falsies, but it's so not noticeable in normal lighting situations, not like my nail desk here. So just wanted to throw that out there. I think 3 light coats or 2 normal coats is perfect. Panda Painter is a 2.0 version. This is a violet base with strong aqua to purple to pink shifting shimmer and holographic flakes. This was the big FOMO polish that I just really truly slapped myself for missing out on. And I'm so happy it's back. Oh my goodness. I was looking for it so much in a lot of the destashing groups and stuff, and no luck, but it's here. I'm so glad. 2 coats. This formula is lush and chef's kiss. This is my second top pick for this entire release. Thank you, Taylor, so much for bringing it back. It is everything I was imagining it to be. Slugbug 2.0 is a deep red base with subtle purple to magenta to orange shifting multi-chrome shimmer. I was one of the really lucky ones who grabbed the limited release when the original Slugbug came out. This is another one I'm very happy everyone's going to be able to grab. It is inspired after a Volkswagen Beetle, of course, and I have to say when I applied it, it is like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it reminds me of car paint. And again, not a negative thing. It just has that beautiful metallic glossy sheen to it when you finish with a top coat. It is deliciously opaque. I think 2 coats is perfect. And Snowdrop is part of the new releases. There's 3, the trio. This is a light blue base with red to pink to orange crystal flakes. The blue base against the gold flakes does give it a more green to teal tinged base coloring. I absolutely agree with that official description. When I was piecing together this video and editing, I had to double check myself a good 3 or 4 times to say, this is Snowdrop, right? It's not the blue one. So yes, this one is Snowdrop. I'm going to suggest 2 coats because these are, to my interpretation, intentionally on the lighter side to allow that glistening, almost foiled type of flake effect across the nail. You'll want to finish with a light coat of glitter smoother because these will dry down quite flat. Spindle Berry is the pink in the Winter Fairyland trio. This is a light pink base with green to blue shifting crystal flakes. Again, I chose to wear this one also at 2 coats. These are softer type of jelly bases. And what's really catching you the most, of course, are those beautiful iridescent, they look mylar type of flakes. I think if you wanted to wear a blurring base coat, that's totally cool. Or if you wanted to wear a matching undie or something, there is a bit of versatility with these. I think you could play around with them quite a bit. Again, I finished with a very thin layer of glitter smoother and my glossy top coat because those types of flakes just give you a little bit of thirstiness. Sunstone 2.0 is a burnt orange base with linear holographic effect and subtle red to gold to green shifting shimmer. I'm so crossing my fingers that this stays color accurate to what I'm seeing in person, to what's on my monitor, to what's going to be on your screen. Just in case, if not, I do agree with that description. It's a burnt orange base, but it layers up like a jelly. So if you choose to stop at 2 coats, it is perfectly opaque, but it's going to give you more of a burnt orange type appearance. But if you go in for that 3rd super thin coat, you're going to deepen it out to look like what you're seeing on my video here. It's like a burnt orangey, slightly red lean to it, if that makes sense. I so hope this is coming off color accurate. So your preference if you want to stop at 2 or 3 coats. Finally, we have Winter Jasmine. This is a light green jelly with aqua to blue crystal flakes. So this one's the blue, 100%. I triple, quadruple checked, and very similar to the other 2 in the Winter Fairyland trio. I chose to take this one up to 3 super thin coats just to kind of demonstrate if you wanted to go up to 3 or 2 coats like on the other 2. So yeah, it does make it just a touch more, I guess, powerful, but the flakes are super powerful regardless. So I don't know, your preference. I think it's perfect at 2 or 3 coats. I think I'm kind of beating a horse here, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. And then, of course, glitter smoothing top coat and glossy top coat. And we're going to wrap this up with the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. All Spangled Up works really well over black. I think you could maybe get creative with it. Amethyst is stunning too. This is so pretty. I really feel like Amethyst is like an underdog in this whole situation, at least to me, as an anti-purple person. Boop the Snoot. Don't do it. It's too perfect. Dragon Fruit works really well. It vamped it out and it looks like a completely different polish. Ew Ted is very pretty, and just look at all of that shimmer. It is delicious. Good Friends is a jelly, so please note if you wanted to do anything outside of black, it is going to be very tinted on that base color. I'm basically 29, same thing as Ew Ted. We've got that gorgeous shimmer coming out, but again, this one's also very tinted. Is That an Ascot just takes over that black. It is so loaded with shimmer. Same thing with Lord of the Hollow Mountain. You can see how beautiful that looks, but again, very tinted base. Mind Your Own Biscuits looks really cool over black. I would not topper it. You're not doing it justice. Moonstone, of course it looks pretty. Moonstone is like the beauty queen of Wildflower Lacquer, and it is gorgeous. Panda Painter, same thing. It's a multi-chrome in my eyes, and it looks great, but don't topper it. It's perfect on its own. Slugbug, yeah, you could vamp it out, but it's already a vampy color, so personally, I wouldn't. Snowdrop, and then the other two in the Winter Fairyland collection trio, yeah, you can absolutely topper these. But again, remember, we've got colored bases going here, so I would stick with matchy-match colors and black, but I think you can absolutely play with them like this. And then Sunstone, yeah, it does work. It does pull a touch more orange over black though, so interesting little color theory going on there. And then lastly, same thing. Winter Jasmine looks really cool over black, and my same caveat for the other two goes here too. And then of course, not to leave anyone hanging, I did do my little comparison here. This is Lord of the Hollow Mountain. I'm basically 29, Ew Ted on each of my fingers here. And I made sure to write it down just so I didn't confuse myself. But I did both finger shots and bottle shots here just so we can all see and get a super detailed comparison. Up to you if you wanted to get all three. I personally wouldn't judge. I'm a collector myself. I don't know. I think they're all beautiful. I hope this helps in your purchasing decisions this weekend. Personally, I would say don't miss out. If you're wanting these, they are just as pretty in person. This launch is going to be a pre-order style, and it's going to drop starting November 4th at 12 p.m. Central Time, and it's going to run until November 11th at 12 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to link you all below to Wildflower Lacquer's site. I'm hopefully going to get this video out before the launch happens. Fingers crossed. I'm thinking I'm on schedule, but we'll see. I do have the huge PPU video to work on, but by the time I get this video up, wish listing, or rather, you should be able to see a preview of the site for Wildflower Lacquer for this individual launch on her site. So I will have that linked below in the description box, and I'll also link you to the Facebook group if you want to get in there, see additional swatches, sneak peeks, interact with Taylor. She's awesome. And possibly see, maybe, I'm thinking, possibly some sneak peeks for Royla Lee for next month. I don't know. We'll see. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.